So thank you for joining me, Stefano from Caen RFID. If you don't mind introducing yourself, if you tell a little bit more about, who Caen RFID is, what you guys do, that'd be great.
Yeah, thanks, Archit. Nice to meet you virtually, let's say. So, yes, I'm Stefano Crucini. I'm the marketing director of Caen RFID. Even if I have a technical background, I was a software developer before. And Caen RFID, who is Caen RFID? Caen RFID is an Italian company specialized in RAIN RFID technology. So UHF RFID was called it before. And our most bigger specialism is about RAIN RFID readers. So we have a wide range of products, ranging from small modules to be embedded inside other devices, to the fixed reader for portal or gates or tunnels for industrial application, and even some special tags, in particular sensor loggers like temperature loggers or humidity loggers, still with the RFID interface, because this is our specialty, let's say.
Yep. Excellent. And, Caen RFID obviously has been having a lot of really nice products for a very long amount of time, but I know you guys are always, having your heads in the labs and doing a lot of R&D and have recently come out with many new products even in 2020. So can you share some of those new products and we can go through them and understand what's new to the market, and what projects it can definitely be used in.
Yes, sure. Yes, you're correct. We are on the market from 2004, so it's a long time we make RFID readers. But now, yes, in the recent months, we developed a new range of products. Let me start from the smallest one, let's say. So
Okay.
the smallest one is the what we call it the Hadron Mini. It is very small RFID module. It's a reader, a complete reader. You just need to attach an antenna and the power and the data interface, and you have the RFID technology inside your device. So it's very small, thin, and it's can be soldered directly to the board. So for many devices where you need the RFID technology, you don't need to invest a lot of time in development of technical issues like radio frequency signals, all those details. We solved that in a single module, and you can install that, and you have the RAIN RFID technology in your device. It could be an handheld, portable device, a printer, or whatever, even a machine in the industrial application. It's
Mhm.
just used like another component,
Yep.
very simple. Uh,
Definitely. I think, just for some people who are looking at applications, right? If we're looking at 2020, if we're looking at, RFID handhelds, they're devices where you can walk around and define your own read zone. But even if you want to embed it into another products, right? There's a lot of heavy machinery that
yeah,
may want to have RFID. There may be even in terms of, from a customer experience perspective, kiosks, where if someone wanted to embed, UHF or RAIN RFID inside that kiosk, smart devices, even, smart mirrors inside of a retail store, just to be able to add an RFID component, I think that's really great. And all you need to do, as Stefano said, put that component inside of your existing infrastructure, hook up, an RFID antenna and, a power source, and you're pretty much on your way there. You can start collecting the data and
yeah,
just really cut down on some other R&D time. All that work has been done for you. You just have a very simple interface to tap into and start bringing that data. And just focus on the data collection rather than focusing on how to do the end-to-end development of the chip and development of starting to use it. So that's really great. And the compact form factor, I think, is going to be helpful for a lot of applications for people that want to put it into their products, right? If someone has a existing product that they have today, they can just easily put it inside. So that's definitely really cool.
yeah, exactly. And another nice thing is that is low power consumption. So if you have a battery powering it can last long, and you can switch off and switch on immediately. So it's
Hmm.
very flexible device for that type of application.
Excellent.
Okay, so well, I can talk about another thing that is quite new for us. It's this one. This one
Okay.
is one of the portal reader for gates and or tunnels, as we talked before. So this is very compact, but still has a very powerful reader that can. Oh, sorry, it was upside down. So it's very powerful. So you can realize large gates for dock doors or in the industrial application. And the nice thing about this, even if it is very compact, is quite robust and is waterproof. So IP65 means that you can install it in an industrial environment or under the rain, no problem. It's completely waterproof. Even the connectors are waterproof,
Hmm.
and this is an industrial standard. They call it M12 for the ones they are in the industrial automation area. So I think this is very nice, and we have customer also use this device because it's so compact, installed in forklifts. So you
Hmm.
install this on the forklift, connect to the mobile computer that is on the forklift, and you have an RFID enabled forklift that you can use to make inventories or to understand where you are placing your good inside the warehouse or
Sure.
something like that. So again, quite a flexible reader for many industrial application where you need a robust device and a waterproof one.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, just let me say there is the uh, similar similar device, but not for industrial application.
Sure.
So it's just with commercial connectors. So it's not waterproof, but it can be installed, for example, in shops or warehouses where you don't need, that have to resist to
Sure.
rain or whatever. So same concept for antennas, for dock doors. It's much more for shops or
Yeah.
not so industrial environments.
Definitely. So you've got two options, just even, of course, for with everything else as well. But from a application perspective, right? The RFID readers, they're connected to antennas, and for a more robust environment, you have the Proton where you can put it for applications, on a conveyor belt, or maybe even if you have an application for some more rugged environments out in the field, maybe outdoors if you want to have for some gate readers where you want to make sure that if you have it, exposed to the elements, it's still going to be able to be, withstanding that. So that's definitely there. And then
Excellent.
you also have the counterpart where you have the ability, the Quattro, where you can put it indoors. You can put it for some applications that are not as heavy duty, still have the ability to have four antennas connected to it, and use it for dock doors, use it for retail environments, use it for other automation where it may not be outside or exposed to the
Exactly.
elements.
Exactly. Well, another thing that could be interesting, another new product we have is the new desktop reader.
Hmm.
This is a reader for to be installed in shops typically,
Sure.
uh, point of sale.
Yep.
So you put this on your counter and you can
Hmm.
use it as a machine for reading the goods that you're selling or something like
Sure.
that. The nice thing about this device is that it's very flexible. So you have even a display and
Hmm.
a keypad. So the behavior of the reader can be customized to many different applications. Like, for example, in a shop, you can use it as a standard reading device for selling, but you
Hmm.
could have a menu to choose, for example, a return of a
Sure.
product, of a good. And it can, since it has the Ethernet uh, connection, it could be connected directly to the server. For example, using a middleware like the one you have, the Tagmatics, right? Uh, it
Yes.
can it can talk directly with the software without the need to be connected to a local computer or PC or whatever. It also has the connector for an external antenna. That means
Okay.
that you could have two read points connected to the same device.
Okay.
USB port. So for example, we have a customer used the USB port to connect the barcode reader, just
Okay.
again. So you can have barcode and RFID on the same device, and
Wow.
link the information of the two codes and
Hmm.
send to the server together.
Wow. Yeah.
For one of the application is, for example, in production, read the barcode and program the RFID label with the same code of the barcode.
Sure. Yep.
For
And
some application, it could be useful.
yeah.
Many other options. I don't want to spend a
No,
lot of time because
I think it's a
yeah,
really powerful device, right? The Hex, right? The Hex reader. I think from a application perspective, right? If we take a look at retail, I think I can see a lot of use of that in retail, especially in point of sale, because a lot of retailers today already have invested in putting RFID tags on their products, and um, one of the biggest benefits of it is it's all serialized, right? Every single RFID tag is unique. So when it
yeah,
comes to the traditional checkout, right, most, especially when we look at luxury goods, when we look at, stores that have had products where they want to ensure that when they're selling a product to a customer, they know which exact one they're selling, not just what type of product. I think it's a really good fit, right? You'll know what exact product went into those customers' hands. So when it comes to things like warranties, when it comes to things like customer service, being able to provide the accurate information. For example, if you've got luxury goods like watches, bags, other products
exactly.
that where you want to have the serial number also be captured at point of sale, this can be a really easy way. And if you're already putting an RFID tag on it, right, for tracking from an inventory management and from a supply chain perspective, I think it's a really good option. And one of the things that you rightly brought up, right? There's a lot of scripting that you can do on there as well, so it's really easy to
Yeah,
use.
exactly.
You can really easy to use, and you can, have a lot of functionality without having to do a lot of development work, right? A lot of that is can be automated, and you can pretty much, cut down on some of those steps and just use a script to take care of that effort for you.
Exactly. This functionality of scripting that can be installed in the reader is common to the three products I've shown you: the
Sure.
X, the Proton, and the Quattro. So the three products have the same scripting language, the same scripting engine. So you write a software for one, it's okay for the other ones. And another thing that I forgot to mention is a new feature of the new firmware release that we have on the Quattro and on the Proton,
Okay.
and it's what we call it a conf and go. So you configure the reader, and it starts to send the information to a server that could be an Ethernet server on a TCP/IP socket, or
Hmm.
a web server, or a serial port. So without the need of having some software running that asks the thing to the reader just behave automatically, read the things, and send back the information. Very simple. It's not for complex scenarios where
Sure.
some level of software is needed for filtering, for making decisions about what the data is coming back, but for simple scenario where you just need to read something that passed through the antennas, then
Yep.
you can just configure it using the web interface, and
Hmm.
you will receive the data directly. Very simple, like just a standard barcode reader, in the
Right.
supermarket.
Yep.
Same type of
Just
behavior.
cutting down and making it easier to integrate the data back, right? Just making it so simpler so you can, take that data forward and use it for what you need to do.
Exactly, exactly. You collect the data, for example, in a cloud, and then you make a you know analysis of data without
Sure.
any. And you need to know the details of the communication with an RFID reader. That's the.
Yep.
Okay, I have just other two things to show you.
Okay.
I think one already, because this is something we developed together. Let's
Yep.
say the tag with our technology, but with your help on defining it. So this is a logger.
Hmm.
It means that it can be configured to get sensor data. In this case, this one is temperature plus humidity. So
Hmm.
both of the parameters uh, can be read from the environment, and
Yep.
the data is stored inside the logger itself. Then you can download the data
Hmm.
gathered during, for example, a transportation of perishable goods like pharmaceuticals or food. and you can download the data using the RFID interface, or even the NFC interface, because this is quite new. It's a double frequency logger, so you can use both RFID with a reader that we have seen before, or with just a smartphone with NFC. And so even the end user can get the data from this device.
Sure.
Many applications for this, for example, transportation of medicine, goods, vaccine, or let's say perishable food, fresh food, or even some special chemicals. We have application where in industrial environments, there are some special chemicals that have to be stored and transported by at a specific temperature, typically below 0. So that you need to guarantee all the time this material is maintained at the right temperature. Otherwise, it doesn't work anymore. So it's very important.
And yeah, for those of you who may not know, right, the idea is that it's very hard to guarantee that across the supply chain, right? You can put a lot of sensors, but you don't know, from a product movement perspective, it's very hard to not know what you don't know. And the logger, travels with your products. You can at various parts of your supply chain use RFID or even NFC to be able to just see, just get your checks that has it been within the thresholds, whether it's temperature, humidity, and be able to go back and get alarms that if things were not where they're supposed to be. So you have that intelligence, right? You can make the business decisions, and RFID serves as a really good median for that, because you can do that in a little bit more of an autonomous manner. You have the ability to collect the data as you're moving the product. You can quickly scan to see, if the product has, any alarms, and then from there be able to segregate the products that may need some more attention, download the historical data, using some, loggers have been around for a long time. There's a lot of loggers that are more analog or digital based, but the idea with combining RFID with it is you can streamline the data collection. You can, as a product comes in, into a warehouse, as a product comes into, a facility, a hospital, you can be able to just scan across, and as you're bringing the product in, and be able to get that intelligence. You don't have to go back and do a lot of, you don't have to do a lot of manual work to understand what the state is, and just get that visibility right away.
Yeah, exactly. One thing is important. Let's say the product that is more similar to an RFID logger is the USB logger. These devices with USB. One of the problem of these devices, apart from the manual work that needed to take it, attach to the computer, and so on, is that you have to open the box, and the box typically is thermo isolated. So if you open the box, the temperature inside is no more what is supposed to be.
Sure.
So you can check the temperature only at the end of the transportation. While with RFID, you can read through the box, and so you can have checkpoints along the supply chain and understand before what is happening, not just at the end when you cannot do anything else. So that's one
with
of
that, you have a lot more visibility, right? You can be able to do it not only faster, but also in a more streamlined way, especially with that example that you gave. If it's inside the product, you don't want to disturb the packaging. You don't want to, from a logistics perspective, it's not possible to capture that data without, compromising the data. So definitely, it's something that's a really big benefit.
Exactly. So, and last but not least, so the very new product we are going to release in the next weeks. So it's really new. It's a reader that is an add-on for a smartphone.
Okay.
So that's the reader. It's black, so it's not very easy to look at it at the camera. I don't know how it is. Yeah, I think
we can see it, and it's pretty compact, pretty pretty nice, looks pretty sleek, and tell us more about it.
Yeah, and so here I have a phone. It's a Samsung S7, just to make a comparison of the size, and that's when it's attached to it. So you see the thickness is very similar. This is a phone with a a thin cover
Hmm.
case, and that is the device. So when they are connected, it's very compact in your hands.
Sure.
So we will have different type of attachment. I always call it mounting methods,
Hmm.
and one is the magnetics. So you see here two magnets, and
Yep.
the magnets are inside the device here.
Okay.
So just like that, and it's connected.
Wow. Yeah.
Quite quite a robust connection. Just in this way, you sweep out, but otherwise it's quite robust. It doesn't go down,
Yeah.
and that is very easy to attach and compact because there is no space between the two devices.
Hmm.
We will also have another type of attachment. Uh, yeah, that is something like that. So with a connection, mechanical
Okay.
connection.
Sure.
I have not now here the 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 cover with that
Yep.
attachment, but we will. The concept will be the same. We will be very compact when it will be attached. So
Okay.
the two the user can choose the one of the other.
Okay.
So the nice thing of this device is that is very compact, one
Hmm.
thing, but still quite powerful. So here we have an antenna, quite a large antenna for this small device. It can reach considerable distance for the size,
Okay.
even a couple of meter of distance reading. But most important is very fast. So if you have a lot of tags, you can read those tags very quickly,
Yep.
and that is open the field of application for this device to inventories in
Yep.
shops, or reading things in even in warehouses.
Sure.
If you don't need to read at 3 meters, then you need
Correct.
a big device with a big antenna. This
Yep.
one will be nice as well, because uh, the device is IP65,
Okay.
quite robust, so it can stand even in industrial environment. It is
Sure.
not just for shops and retail
Yeah.
application.
I think one really big use case that we're seeing more and more today is like field technicians. So
Exactly.
if we have people in a lot of service industries that can be, for example, if you have people that are in service industries for your even from a consumer perspective, you've got companies that are offering services like internet providers, other companies that are offering services for for businesses, and even for on the commercial side in oil and gas and energy, and these service technicians need to go in and either install products or need to go in and service products. And I think this is a really nice compact form factor where they don't have to carry a lot of stuff with them, right? If I'm a service provider who is going to inspect a plant or is going to do some service on some parts and they're RFID tagged, it's a pretty
Exactly.
compact form factor. You don't have to carry a lot with you, even with even if when we're looking at use cases like consignment inventory, right, where we have inventory that's being stored at customer locations. Uh, it's nice because you don't have to carry a lot with you, right? A traditional handheld may be more cumbersome for a user to carry around. So I think this form factor makes it nice, and they can just tack it right on the back of a smartphone, a tablet, and I think it's a really cool form factor. And I think the way you design it is also really nice, where they can remove it for charging. They can have a lot of different methods from a use case perspective.
Exactly. And it also quite flexible in terms of connectivity,
Hmm.
because it has the Bluetooth interface that
Okay.
it's both classic and low energy, so it
Sure.
can be connected using one or the other,
Yep.
and it's compatible with Android, with Windows and iOS, so you can
Okay.
connect it to the iOS or iPads,
Hmm.
and so at a lot of usage,
Yeah.
and also the USB Type C connector for charging, but also
Okay.
for communication. So you have a choice to connect this device using different type of interfaces.
Yeah.
Two buttons, one power and one to trigger readings if you choose to use the button to start the reading process. It can be done from the application on the smartphone, but it can be done also using the button. They are configurable, so if you
Okay.
are using the left hand or the right hand, you just switch the
Okay.
behavior of the buttons, and it's okay. So I think it's a quite interesting product for um, for many applications, as you
I
say.
think so too.
Also,
Yeah.
the power is configurable. So yes, it can read at 2 meters very fast, but
Mm-hmm.
we have also some application where you reduce the power at the minimum, and
Mm-hmm.
to read the tag you have to go at contact. For example, for mobile point of sales. So the sale assistants, instead of going to the point of sale place, they
Sure.
just can scan one thing and be sure to be scanning this single thing. You put the power at the minimum, and you
Yep.
have to touch the tag itself. So I think the flexibility of this device is the strength point of it.
Yeah, that's definitely really cool. And I think another really nice factor is the Bluetooth Low Energy. We've seen that when it comes to the users, right? Anything that you can do to make it easier for them is great. And Bluetooth Low Energy is nice because you don't have to go in and pair the device. You don't have to go and
Exactly.
physically do that within the operating system. So just one less step for users. I think it's really nice, especially if you've got applications where people maybe sharing the reader between devices and other things. It just makes it more simpler, and obviously from not only from a power saving perspective but also just from a connectivity, right? Just make it easier. And I think from a market perspective, right, it's just going to make it a little bit easier for people to adopt, knowing that their users don't have to go through that extra step.
Exactly. That's the idea of the Bluetooth Low Energy.
Mhm.
We decided to go in that way for these reasons. We had in the past some classic Bluetooth readers, and we had some issue with some smartphone, not all, but
Yep.
some smartphone have the issue with the pairing process. So
Hmm.
with BLE, it's straightforward. You just
Correct.
look at the devices and it
Yeah,
works. Yeah.
definitely. No, it's definitely been really cool. A lot of products, that's what I can say. That's a lot of
Yeah.
products, a lot of products, a lot of new innovations, and I think it's important, right? We're seeing with RAIN RFID, with UHF RFID, we're seeing a lot more applications that are coming out today. A lot of people are finding new ways to use the technology, and some of the challenges that are there, I think, in the marketplace can be easily overcome with some of your new products, right? I think they're definitely on the edge, definitely from a use case perspective, going to make it easier, more streamlined for adoption. So thank you definitely for sharing that with me. Any other things you'd like to share? Any other announcements? Any other pieces of information before we close out today's session?
No, I think this last product we presented is the main news that we will have from now to the end of the year.
Okay.
Maybe next year we will have some new products, because we have a very nice research and development group that is working every day on developing new things. And I think from the beginning of the next year we will have some new things to show.
Excellent.
And I'd like also to say that we we work a lot with custom products. So we had in the past, and we will have in the future probably, customer asking for specific products for them. And since we have all the skills internally, so we develop internally the hardware, the software, the firmware.
Hmm.
Well, not the software only for what regards drivers, because
Yep.
there are companies like RFID4U just much more specialized on software.
Mhm.
But we have all the skills inside to build a device from scratch. And so
Sure.
we have a customer asking us to build a product from scratch with RFID technology, and sometimes mixing other technology like barcode or NFC, for example.
Sure.
So yeah, that's one of the things that we are quite unique in the market for this,
I definitely
from
agree.
this perspective.
I definitely agree. And all the new products are available for purchase on rfid4ustore.com. So we ship worldwide, but they are available for purchase, stocked locally. And if you ever have, if you have any questions on any products, any of the new products, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help you with choosing, some of the new products and helping you from an application perspective. But Stefano, thanks for jumping on today. Appreciate your time, and we'll definitely be excited to hear what's next to come. But thank you for that.
Okay, thanks to you. Thanks.
Thank you.